Hello, welcome pen friends. I'm back with another video that was inspired by a comment from a viewer. Today I was in again, of course, responding to comments and logging down entries for our big giveaway that we'll be having on the 10th. And I was really excited too because they're all ready to go. They've been, all the samples have been covered. I decided to use saran wrap. That was a viewer's idea too. Or cling wrap. It's very clingy, so each vial has been wrapped and tucked and circled in that and then put in a little pill bag. So I'm excited because that means that all of the really intense work is done, just the drawing itself and then having the people, the two winners contact me with their address and then going to the post office. So it's cool. But in the process of doing all that today, I did run across a question about pen paling, and I haven't actually come on and done a video or talked about pen paling in a long time. And her question was just so intriguing and so interesting that even though I typed out like a page-and-a-half answer, I wanted to do a video because it really inspired me. So I'll read the question, and then I've got gobs more to say even than answering these questions, but I just thought it might be fun for someone else too, not just the person who asked. So the question is, when do you prefer to write your letters? Do you do 5 at once to your pen friends? Do you usually write a page? Do you have a routine or a mindset of how you feel before you start? If you're grumpy or tired, do you still write? Let's see, and then it says, I have a few short letters to write at the moment. I'm finding it very hard to feel like it, so I've been procrastinating for months. Okay, so this just really, like, I had like 1,000 thoughts, and I thought, oh, this is a video. This is not just an answer. So just background on me, I've been doing pen paling for about 3 years. I started in February of 2018 when I joined NaCoWriMo, which is International Correspondence Writing Month, something like that. I may have it scrambled. And it used to be, it had its own website, and it had, you know, it was super organized with a address capability and everything. And then I think that people went through some hard times and it changed a little, and maybe it moved over to Facebook, so I didn't continue to do that. But by then I had this YouTube channel, so I had a lot of people who, you know, knew that I was into fountain pens and pen pal writing, so ended up with more than 30 active pen pals. And right now I'm not really sure. I didn't even count because it's interesting, and I'll weave it into this discussion, but pen pals tend to come and go, and there's a lot of flexibility in it, and it does change over the years. So it's like in February of 2022, then it'll be 4 years that I've been doing this. And I am not a perfect pen pal. Anybody who's a pen pal with me can testify that sometimes I get real slow because, oh my goodness, you know, life happens, and I get a really large reply pile, and on and on and on. Or I hurt my back and then I'm weeks without, well, that hasn't happened in a while. Hopefully it won't happen again. But anyway, I'd like to try to focus, which is very hard for my kind of brain. So the first question, part of that was, when do you prefer to write your letters? That would be in the morning, quite early. I find myself the freshest really early in the morning. So I get up every morning because Coco, the cat, wakes me up at about 5. He's already made the time change. It used to be 6, but I think he already knows something's up. So it's 5 o'clock now. And I do like to get up because it's harder for Manuel to be patient with him. And so I get up, and that way, you know, at least sometimes I'll even fall back asleep on the couch. Not every day, but he just wants me up. He just wants me up and moving around. So it would be early in the morning, and it's even before I drink my coffee, because I'll get my bullet journal out, and I have a picture that I kind of superimposed on the thumbnail for this video, but I recently put a table and 2 chairs in this room that is my office. It's my all-purpose. I have our family computer in here, and so I do all of our managing our stuff. You know, like every family is like a small business, so I do all of that in here. And then I have my pen desk behind me, which is a secretary that table that my niece gave me when some I think people that live near her were moving, and they were just going to leave it like out by the dump. And it's a nice table. So anyway, I've had that for years, and this room is like, I think it's 7 feet by 19 feet. So it's long and narrow. And in that other part of the room, which you'll see that little picture, that's where I now write my pen pal letters. I used to do it at the kitchen table. I didn't enjoy that because there's lots of food in the kitchen, and there's distractions, like, you know, projects that probably need to be done. And I don't know, there's a television in there too. So I like to write right here in what I call my office. Used to be a dining room. Okay, the next part of the question, do you do 5 at once to your pen friends? No, I don't usually do 2 or even 3. That happens every once in a while. I usually do 1 a day. And there are days when I don't write 1. Like if we've got activities stacked for the morning and I'm going to be going out, then I usually have to get other things done, and I don't get to write a letter early. And I find that if I don't write a letter early, I don't write a letter. So it's really nice, you know, doing them every day, because I've got family and my mother in another state too. And so definitely early, definitely usually 1. But there are times like on a Sunday when it's real cozy or it's raining or something, and it depends on the letter too, because if it's going to an overseas pen pal, I typically write a little more because the stamps are more expensive and it takes longer to get there. And so I want to try to remember everything I want to say, you know, because the turnaround is quite a bit different, you know. So I'll spend a couple hours on one that's going, you know, to the UK or something, or Australia. Okay, so I think I've kind of answered. Oh, no, there's another question in there. Do you usually write a page? It's really varies from pen pal to pen pal, but I find myself usually an A5 front and back of 2 papers. So that's really like, well, that's like 2 full sheets. See, because this would be A5, you know, half of a sheet, and I'd write front and back of 2 of them. So that's typical for me, but I have been known to get more wordy, and there are times when I write less. So I don't know if I really answered that question. Do I have a routine? Yes, that morning routine of writing a letter. In fact, it's kind of a game, because after I write the letter, or even if I'm struggling, if I'm kind of like, oh, this is getting to be a long letter, or I'm trying to go through several different inks to show the person the inks and it's taking longer, then I'll go start the coffee, you know, because I drink my coffee at about 9, so I don't just get right up and drink it. I say it's a game because it's kind of like, I like to accomplish a couple of things before I start with my coffee, so that's like a treat. Okay. Okay, she asked about mindset. Now that's something I think I can address. Sometimes writing doesn't come really simple or easy. So what I like to do is read their letter several times. If I'm having a struggle, like I'll go back and I'll read the letter again, and then I'll go putt around, or, you know, there's always something with 3 cats. There's always something going on. And so I call it simmering. The letter will go ahead and simmer, and then I just feel like then I can respond better, or I can think of things to say, but it doesn't always come like easy. And other times I've got almost, what I'll do is on the back of their envelope, I'll write things, if I think of things I really want to remember to say. Yeah, so I'll scroll on the back of the envelope things I'm going to say, or even things I'm going to thank them for, you know, things like that. I try to help myself, you know, give myself clues in any way that I can. So like right now, this is where I put my letters. I put them in like a tin. It's an old tin that my mother gave to my husband, and he let me have it, and I love it because I just set the letters in there, and I put a little index card with a cross-off thing. I have to be super organized, or I would just not, I wouldn't know where anything was, basically. So then I X them off, and I'll start a new index card once that's done. Speaking of index cards, this is how I still prefer, after all these years, is my little tin. It's recipe box size for 3x5 cards, and it's stuffed full. I mean, I really need to go through it this week, because I'm gonna, if there are a few that are inactive or not used as often, because I can't get my fingers in there anymore, so and I will make sure I don't lose any, because sometimes all of a sudden I need an address, you know, again, or I can't quite read it on an envelope or something. Okay, so I knew I was going to have trouble focusing, because this is a really cool subject for me. If you're grumpy or tired, do you still write? That's funny. I think my husband might answer it different, like whether I'm grumpy or not, but I actually don't really feel like I'm grumpy in the morning, and especially lately. But usually, even on a bad day, I'm doing pretty good in the morning. And lately, with very little news, I've reduced my news intake like down to almost nothing. And I had to have a discussion with Manuel, because we did have some patterns where I used to watch the news with him, but lately I can't deal with it anymore. I just can't deal with it. So I go looking for weather, and I go looking for anything that I need, like, you know, I'm interested in when I can get a booster and things like that. So I'll go looking for those things, and I've told him, it's okay, Manuel, if there's something really important you think I should know, because he's very religious about watching it. But I haven't been as grumpy, so that's how that ties into that question. And tired, I haven't been tired lately either, even when I don't sleep much. In the morning, I'm good. But don't talk to me after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. If I've had a poor night's sleep the night before, then I'm not writing anybody letters. I'm not going to be able to communicate with anyone. So yeah, I'm really good in the morning. Okay. Yes. So I actually, it's a routine enough for me to do the writing that I always seem to do it. She says, finding it hard to feel like it. I think one way that we can address that, like, there are little elements of writing letters that are more annoying to me than others. Like, excuse me, one of the harder things for me is just the envelope, because I get so many beautiful envelopes and I feel like mine aren't that pretty. So if I get the envelope done, then I know the easy part for me is writing the letter. So sometimes I'll just go ahead and get everything together and do the envelope right away. Never will I leave the envelope to last, because it seems to spark my interest and make me feel better that the envelope is ready to go. So I wanted to address that. That's everything I think that was here. And I'm sure I'll have other thoughts too. But one of the things I wanted to mention was, for a long time, I really struggled because of, I'm going to have to take a break, get some water. I'll be right back. There, okay, I've got a water right here now, and that helps a lot. I used to struggle, and this is an elephant in the room, like something that I don't think I've ever really talked about before. But every once in a while, you'll have a pen pal, and you'll suddenly realize that they're not writing to you anymore, and you're not writing to them, and you might not even be able to remember, oh, was it me that dropped the ball, or did I just never hear back? Did a letter maybe get lost? You know, you'll start to question yourself. But I know it's only been 3.5 years that I've been doing this, but I now know that that's just kind of normal. And don't get upset about it. It'll happen. And the other thing is, I would never hold it against somebody if I hear from them after a whole year even. You know, it's cool. It's fine. It's really exciting. And then, of course, the first thing that goes through my mind is, oh, good, they weren't mad at me after all. I didn't do anything wrong, you know, because that's what this is all about. I'm reading this book. That's the other morning routine, is I like to read nonfiction in the morning and write a pen pal letter. Those are the things that I need the most concentration on. But that book called Not Nice, it's really about authenticity and just dropping the people pleasing and being able to say no and being able to fully be ourselves. It's not about being mean, because the title is an attention grabber, but it's a wonderful book by Dr. Aziz Gazapura, and he has a wonderful YouTube channel too. He's cool. Oh my goodness. Young and cool and very relatable. You can watch his videos and they're just amazing. If you struggle at all with speaking up, or if you have any of those issues, which I have just everything he talks about. But so there is that thing where, and now that I've been pen paling long enough, I've been on both ends of it. I've been where I just couldn't quite make a connection, or I couldn't think of what to say, and it just didn't seem to maybe be a fit, and I just stopped writing, and I was horrified at myself at first, and thinking, I don't, oh dear, I almost like I thought, well, I'm not, how can I keep being a pen pal if I just can't write to someone? Or if someone stops writing to me, what does it mean? It doesn't really mean anything. I've figured that out. Like, it's okay to have it be relaxed and have it be very organic. And at least a dozen times or so, I've gotten a letter out of the blue where we had been fairly disconnected, and I couldn't remember, gee, did I write last, or did they? But anyway, it's still just as thrilling to get a letter after a long time. And people, not everybody is living a retired lifestyle like I am too. So I always have to keep that in mind. Like, people are moving, people are getting different jobs. There's children, there's grandchildren, there's things going on. So, if I can pass on anything, it would be, don't worry about time gaps. Don't worry about feeling like you've been dropped or you can't seem to write to somebody. It's okay. It'll all work out. It's amazing how it all works out. So I was trying to think if there was anything else. I just felt like that was the coolest question, cluster of questions about pen paling. Definitely, like, I noticed that recently I've felt like I needed to be disciplined enough to write a letter each day, because I was getting so far behind that my turnaround time was almost a month. Well, that's okay. Like, if I'm writing to approximately 30 people and I'm getting one letter a month out, that's kind of neat, because they get to see my inks for that month, and it pretty much balances. But if it gets any longer than that, I start to kind of lose the connection, and I don't. So, I prefer to have maybe around 2 weeks and not longer, but that has not really been how it is. But I'm catching. I've got 3, right? No, wait. 4 if I count Mom, because I do owe Mom a letter too right now. Or I want to write back to the letter she just sent me. Ours tend to cross all kinds of different ways. Like, with Mom, I'm just sending her things as I get them, or, clippings and different things. And so that's different. And we can't really see each other right now because she can't have visitors at her assisted living or inside. They can visit outside, but it's not to her liking yet. So I haven't made it to Vermont yet. It's been 2 years, so mercy. Okay. But I very much, I love pen paling. In fact, I want to show you the stamps I just got. I got 2 different new ones. Let's see if I can do it without knocking down the entire thing. Just got these little Day of the Dead stamps, and those are cool. The stamps kind of spice it up, and then I've already used a couple of the message monsters. Oh my, I've got lighting issues here galore, but those are so cute. But Oh, that's the other thing. That's the other big thread. It's not quite an elephant in the room the way misconnections and not continuing, that's an elephant. But the other thing I want to talk about is how I can see now, in retrospect, that I was extremely intimidated by artistic mail that I got in the past, like where I just didn't know what to do because I wanted to give them something as great as what they had sent me, which was like a beautiful envelope and a completely illustrated letter, and that could be considered mail art and probably is. And I was like, oh no, what do I do? And I've learned, and that's part of this book, that's part of this whole subject of being yourself, that everybody else is taken. That I need to be me, and I need to have the confidence that being me is okay and is good enough. And it may be subtle, it may not be as beautiful, but oh, there's Coco. Oh boy. Okay, now make sure you don't play with the ink, Coco. I've been learning just gradually to just be me. And that means sometimes I'll get out the rubber stamps and the stickers, and sometimes I'll get the paintbrushes out and enjoy, hey, my baby, hi. Oh, he's my good boy most of the time. And other time, Sunday, he went running by me with something in his mouth. Well, it was a little ink miser. I kid you not, that little clear one, right in his mouth, and he was just taking off because he knew if I saw him with it, I was going to take it away. Oh my goodness. The most dangerous thing that I ever found him trying to get was the ends of the syringes, so the ink syringes, so I have to be very careful. You be good. Okay, be nice, please. He likes to try to get push pins, so I try to keep those away from him. Oh dear. Okay, so I was talking about mail art and how, yeah, oh dear. So I screwed up pretty badly, I think, in the past, where I felt that I wasn't worthy as a pen pal because I wasn't a mail artist or a whatever. That sounds really nuts. I didn't feel like what I was sending to them was much of anything because it was maybe a letter on Tomoe River paper in a nice envelope and with a, oh dear. He's a handful. Okay, that's all I can say about Coco. So yeah, I would just say don't be like that, because I regret that I was feeling that way, because I really was. It had to be a projection, because maybe they would like to get a regular plain letter, and that's all judgment if I'm thinking that my letter isn't good enough, or I cannot produce the same type of letter in return. I'm me, I'm Chris. So anyway, so be you and just do you, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. That's okay. But try not to be too hard on yourself, because a letter is a letter, and gosh, they're fun. Anything that comes in the mail, it's not a bill, is so much fun. And there's so much enjoyment to be had with having pen pals that I feel like perfectionism has got to go, and feeling as if we have to kind of, for instance, let's say a pen pal writes a letter to you and it's 16 pages and you're more of a 4 to 8 page person. Well, just do you. That's the lesson that I've learned after 3.5 years. I have to be me, or I won't do anything at all, and then that's not going to hit. If you don't write letters, you don't get letters back, basically. I mean, that's basically how it works. But oh my goodness. Okay, I'm probably off the deep end here, but it feels good to be talking about some of the things that aren't all rose-colored, because it can be difficult if we're hard on ourselves, or if we, oh my goodness, I'm losing my... Mendel and I have been watching this comedian. I was trying to think of what... Like, he has the puppets, and I think his first name is Jeff. Anyway, I can't help it. He has the little skeleton one that's a terrorist puppet that he uses. And so, I don't know, Mendel was telling me something when we were driving today. And I said, he said, well, what would you do if I don't know, I guess he said, if I didn't let you get a taco. And I said, I kill you. Like, he just about went off the road. So I have that right in my mind, because when we got home, he put another one on. They're all on Amazon Prime. And he's been trying for years to get me to watch these things. And I just thought, I'm not interested in that, but I just laughed the whole time. Yes, Coco, I'm almost done talking. These people are probably already tired of listening to me. Anyway, so hopefully I did answer all these little questions. Definitely a morning routine. I usually write 1 letter a day. I definitely am very routine. It's nonfiction study and a letter in the morning, then my coffee. Then I allow myself to watch a YouTube video, and then I might start laundry and do all the other work and stuff. So Coco comes first. Coco, Willie, and Princess, they always come first. Yeah, if I was extremely grumpy or something was really going haywire, I probably would wait till I was in a better mood. It's been a while, though, since I had that come up. Yeah, and I think, a piece of advice I was given once was to even write a postcard if you really don't feel like writing a full letter. People enjoy that too, and I can say I have definitely enjoyed getting postcards. I have a pen friend just a few towns or cities over in Texas who used to send postcards a lot, and it was fun to get those. So that's about all. I've gone on and on enough, but I love the subject. I'm happy now that I'm finally able to put in perspective some of the things that I used to be so hard on myself. And I really think it's been reading this book. It's about, building that authenticity. And, well, it would be impossible for me to explain everything that's in that book. And I'm making real progress. I've only got this much left. Plus, I'm trying to watch his videos too. They're only about 10 minutes and they really help. I seem to be more of a visual learner, so when he talks about the subjects too, it really helps. Anyway, that's it, and I hope if you're a pen pal person and you want to make a comment here that you'll do that. And don't forget to enter the drawing. The 2 prize packages are all ready to go, and I'll link the video with it's the Inkvent sample giveaway, and I'll link that below in the description box. So take care and write letters, write postcards, just do your best, do your way, and you'll get a style, you'll change it, you'll evolve with it, and so will your pen pals. And I think it's a very worthwhile thing to do. So see you later. Bye for now.